Hello, yes, hi, and good evening. Welcome to our weekly BDP webinar. This is Alex Kokin calling in from Florida, and I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. George Ruiz is currently traveling. He's actually on his way to Isagenix in Chandler, and he won't be able to be with us tonight. So tonight I'm just going to give you a little insight on a technique that I have used to maximize my Isagenix income. And as many of you might know, my wife and partner Marlena and I became the 75th millionaires in Isagenix last year. And we have done this working basically the business part-time with a technique that you're going to be um, learning about tonight. Uh, we call it the Circle of 10. And if you bear with me, I'm just going to actually start the presentation here and let's get going. So basically, uh, when we got started, we were trying to see how we would get the most out of our Isagenix business. And although our compensation plan back a few years ago when we started did not include many of the bonuses that there are today, the basics remain the same. I'm going to actually include the bonuses and the current ranks just so that you get an idea of what an incredible way this can be to build your business and make it grow extremely fast. So we're going to start with some of the basics. And the basics, actually, we're going to start with the rank basics. And it all starts with becoming an associate. That's where every single one of you that's on this call tonight got started. We all had a dream uh, about what the business could be. And in the case of many people, that dream actually is a financial goal or so. In the case of Marlena and I, we basically wanted to replace the income I was making as an architect, a six-figure income as an architect, uh, so that I did not have to work those long 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, and that we would get to spend some more time together, time with the kids, and so on. So that was our basic goal when we got started in Isagenix. And in order to get that goal going, what is the next rank that anybody has to achieve in order to get into what we call money making mode? And by the way, feel free to just enter your answers in the question box, which should be at the top right of your screen in the GoToWebinar control panel. Great. Yeah, we see consultant, and everybody got this one right. And this is really the basic building block of your Isagenix business. And it was the same way at the beginning when we all got started. Now there's a new rank for those of you who have come in the last couple of years. You might not know this, but the rank of manager was introduced. And this is really what has accelerated the growth of Isagenix. This has been absolutely key. And you will see how some of the current top earners utilize this manager position as a stepping stone to really get where they want to get going. Of course, you can also consider the next rank, which is director, halfway stepping stone. Now, let me backtrack 1 second. And does anybody know manager? What a manager is? That's right. Manager is somebody that has two consultants in their organization. And of course, a director, which we call also the halfway stepping stone. Does anybody know how many consultants you need in order to become a director? 6. Perfect. Thanks, Milt. And finally, the last and the most important of all ranks is the executive. And that's where we get 10 consultants, 5 on each side. And I want you to keep in mind that number, the number 10, because this is something that you will see has become mostly the norm and not the exception. And you'll see why that number 10 is so important later on. I'm going to jump over to another area of the pay plan, and a very important introduction that was done just recently, and that's our holiday bonus pool. And rather than just going over here, I'm going to have actually a link to what the holiday bonus pool is. And let me just zoom into this area here, which is really key. And what the holiday bonus pool does is Isagenix has set aside a large quantity uh, in order for us to be able to, at the end of the year, enjoy a nice bonus. And the holidays are really great. And this is a great tool in Isagenix because now it also allows us to use this as a retention tool, because one of the qualifications to collect all your points or shares, as they're called, that you have earned through the year is that you remain on autoship. And the way it works is the following. Every week that you remain as a paid as manager, that means that you have your 2 consultants in your organization, you earn 2 bonus shares. Every week that you remain as a director, that means having 6 consultants in your organization, you earn 6 shares. And every week that you remain at the top rank of executive, you earn 10 shares. And this is cumulative. As a matter of fact, just to simplify things, if during all year long you just remained as a manager, that would be 52 weeks times 2 shares for every week. You would have earned a total of 104 shares. And although the value of the shares will determine on the number of people that are participating, up to now in the first 2 quarters of the year, the value of the share has been just under $10. Meaning that if this keeps at this pace, and if you have earned 104 shares at the end of the year, you would actually be able to count on a bonus of approximately just under $1,000, which would be a fantastic bonus for for the year. So this is the one part of the plan that has been actually improved over the last actually recently. So let's get back here to our presentation, and just recapping, a manager would get 2 shares weekly. If you remain at the director level, you would get 6 shares weekly. And if you remain at the executive level, you would get 10 shares. Additionally, when you are at the level of paid as executive, you can earn an additional 10% of the check on everyone that you have personally sponsored. So just take, for example, Jimmy Smith, our top earner in our team, top earner in Isagenix, and Jimmy sponsored BDP founder George Ruiz. So Jimmy, when he is qualified as an executive, he gets 10% of George's check. And let's bear in mind that since joining, George is rapidly approaching now the $5 million in earnings mark. So 10% of whatever George earns is significant. So imagine what you would be able to collect when you start getting 10% on everybody that you personally sponsored. If you've got somebody cycling 10 cycles a week, you'll get an additional cycle per week. You get somebody cycling 20 times in your team, you get an additional 2 cycles, and so on. Now, in addition, we have some incredible bonuses, and those are the pools that you read about. And these pools are, and I'm just going to show you some examples. For example, the 2 and 3 star pool. This is, I believe, from the month of June of 2013. The top earner in that pool earned $20,650. That's over $20,000 in addition to everything that they earned from their cycles and other income. Next, we have that 4 and 6 star pool, and the top earner there was $27,632. And finally, and this is mind-boggling, we get to the 7+ star pool. And there we have one bonus that was earned for $75,960. Now, when you're looking at these numbers here, every single person that earned one of these pools also was at the level of executive, paid as executive. So keep in mind that number 10, those people had at least 10 consultants, 5 on the left and 5 on the right, in order to earn these bonuses. And by the way, that phone ring is actually George Ruiz, who's traveling, and he said that he was actually going to join us quickly via phone. So I'm just going to put George quickly on speakerphone here, and hopefully you'll be able to hear him. George, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. How are you?
We're doing fantastic here. Sorry that we cannot have you here, but if you'd like to give a message, we're in the middle here of a presentation.
Yes. Well, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. Okay. But anyway, I just want to say I apologize. I couldn't be at the presentation, but I have to come to Phoenix and kind of an emergency, good emergency, by the way. This is the emergency meeting. We have a big leader in network marketing that he's flying in here tomorrow morning. We are meeting him twice weekend the day before, meet with corporate. But anyway, guys, I know, and I don't know, Alex, what you have talked so far. I know you were talking about the importance to be executive, I think.
That is correct. And we're just sharing some of the incredible bonuses people are earning in the executive pools. And, you know, we have here on one of the bonuses for $75,000.
Yes. Alexis Romano. The interesting thing about Alexis Romano, by the way, is that she was not even diagnosed in the top 200 4 months ago, and now she got a bonus for $75,000. But guys, something I want to tell you is very important. When you talk to people, they say, you want to go fast to the top of the plan, make sure you bring things that each one bring two. And then if you do it in 30 days, you can earn $5,000 or more. Last night we have a meeting where there was a networker. The guy has been very successful networking in the past. He retired and he bought a beautiful home in Las Vegas, etc. and then he joined Isagenix about 2 weeks ago. And then he had another guy there, also a worker. We talk about that. We said, guys, you bring 10, and they bring 2. There's no way that you can fail. And just to give you a little thing, we were talking to Travis Garza about 20 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. Here in Phoenix. Now, we were in Las Vegas last night. Now we're here in Phoenix. And he said something really interesting. When Lynn Hagedorn came, she was desperate because she had cut off her income with the other company. And when she talked to Kathy and corporate team, they told her what to do. And the first thing is, Kathy told her, make sure you become an executive ASAP in the first 30 days, and you have at least 2 people doing the same thing. And then what happened is that Lynn, in her first 4 months, that's something that we didn't know. The reason you see the number 3,000 something in the page where they have the number of Lynn Hagedorn, she did it only, those $3,000 she made in about 7 days. Because then she went in the full month, that was the convention in August. And in that full month, she made over $25,000. Basically her first full month. Why? Because not only she became a crystal executive really quick, something like in a week and a half, but also she had 3 crystal executives that month in her front line, and people went really quick. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to do that, but why she did that? She told Kathy, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. I had to get to 10,000 a month or more in the next 90 days or sooner, and she did it in her first 4 months. Because, and the reason, again, the commitment, guys, and I said to you right now, make the decision to go, if you are an executive, to go for executive, active executive. And what I mean is, if you are an executive entitled, but you don't have your 10 people, make sure you get 10 new people. I'm not talking about the ones that you have before. Set up that goal for the next 90 days. And the next 90 days, at the end of the 90 days, your world can change in a big way. Something else that Travis Garza told us, I don't remember his name right now at the top of my head, but the guy plays third base with the Dodgers. The guy was in the office this morning, and he said, this guy is so inspired. He's been a week and a half in Isagenix. He never done network marketing, but he's an athlete, obviously. He already has 7 consultants, and he was making calls tonight to become an executive tonight. Now, why athletes are choosing Isagenix? He told us about, what's his name, Louis. Jeez, I forgot his first name right now. He played with the Baltimore football player, third base of the Dodgers that I just mentioned, running back with one of the teams here in Arizona, the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, guys, why they are choosing Isagenix? Because the products are amazing. Why they are choosing to do the business? That is important, guys, because they see a potential. These are actors that have made millions of dollars. Now, you guys, all of you that are right now, I cannot see your names right now because I am on the telephone. But every person that's right now on this webinar has the same opportunity to become a millionaire. Maybe you don't have the context of Ray Lewis or these guys, but you know what? You also have the whole world. They don't know how to work Facebook. They don't know how to the things that we are teaching. And on top of that, if you talk to everybody, you tell the story. You say, if you bring 10, that they bring the 2, you can get a $5,000 in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I don't know how fast you're going to do it. But you do that. And then at the end of the year, just following the same process, you could be financially free for the rest of your life. And again, it's 90 days. I challenge everybody to tell that story. Bring 10, and they bring 2. Bring 10, and they bring 2. Some of you may be saying, well, but that seems tough. Guys, for those of you that have been in network marketing before, that is not tough. Other companies, the qualifications to start getting into ranks, they are really complicated. Through volume requirements. They have to get personal sponsors that get to certain ranks. And I suggest just one on the left and one on the right, you get paid on everybody. And on top of that, you become an executive, you have access to every bonus that Isagenix has available right now. And I tell you, you do that, and then by April, you are going to be qualified for a trip to Paris. And then in September, I think it's the second week of September that they are planning, we're going to be flying to Paris. And then for those of you that want to stay an extra week, like I'm planning, we can drive to Germany or in the train to Germany or Spain or wherever you want. But guys, I don't want to take more time because but I'm so excited because talking to Sally a few minutes ago, we just let him, wow, it was so exciting. We had the right company. We have amazing products, and tomorrow later I'm going to tell this story, not today, but because the story is developing of something that happened with this big guy that's coming tomorrow to ICA. Tell the story. Tell the story. Tell the story. Talk about the business and the product. Don't talk only about the product. Just talk about the business and the product and the lifestyle. Tell people where you want to be. And if you don't know, write it down. Tonight, your homework is make sure that you write down your vision. Where do you want to be? I tell one thing: when you make that decision, things are going to start happening. Forget about the past. The past doesn't equal the future. All those dreams that you have a long time ago, they can become a reality. And if you never dreamed before, it is time to dream. Because when you dream, things can happen. But anyway, guys, I better let you go because I know you still have a few more minutes for the webinar. But anyway, Alex, I don't know if you want me to say anything else or.
No, George, you have basically just gotten us all riled up here. We are thrilled to see that things are really happening. We're thrilled to see that you're back down so soon. You recently were there and at Isagenix, and we're looking forward to hearing a little bit more about your trip. So, George,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got cut off for a second. What
Yeah.
do you say?
No, we'll basically continue here with the webinar now, and we look forward to
Okay.
hearing about your trip next webinar.
Okay, perfect.
Great,
Have an incredible day.
and thank you so
Okay,
much
guys.
for calling in. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Great. Well, guys, you can see you can sense the excitement in George's voice, and I tell you, most people that actually see what Isagenix has to offer have that excitement. We have a fantastic team, a fantastic corporate team, and so on, and lots of great things are going to continue to happen in Isagenix. Now, let's quickly get back here to this presentation on what I wanted to make sure that you understand the importance of that number 10, the importance of remaining an executive, because that unlocks the whole pay potential of the Isagenix compensation plan. So on this next slide, we're going to revisit why we have become networkers, why we have decided to choose network marketing. And I'm going to share with you two columns of numbers. On your left, you will see an arithmetic progression for those of you who are more mathematically inclined. And basically, it's just adding numbers. It's a linear progression. And although the numbers at this moment might not make sense, this is akin to what you uh, would be earning if you had a regular job, if you traded hours for dollars. Uh, the more hours you work, the more you get paid, but you can never really get the amount to be uh, quite high. That's what happened to me when I was working as an architect. If I wanted to earn more, I had to put in more hours. 40 hours was my regular week, 60 hours, 70, 80 hours was when I really had to get my overtime going. And there were a few weeks that I actually had over 100 hours on my time card. And that was a regular job, which, if you want to make a lot of money, you're basically going to be totally exhausted and overworked, and you're going to be hating every second of it. The other column here is actually a geometric progression. And although the first two levels remain the same, on the third level here, you can see that the next number becomes double and double and double. And that gives you an idea of how a regular job compares as opposed to the leverage that we get in network marketing. So we want to network because that's going to produce, and what you're seeing here is actually the concept of residual income. Now, how come there are some people in Isagenix that are making these huge numbers? It's because they make a decision of choosing between the number 2 or the number 10. And keep in mind, we have that number 10 in there, and that 10 really stands for executive. And I'm going to just, for reference, put the prior column of the geometric progression of the number 2. But now take a look at that right side, that number 10. We have 10 on that first level. That means that we have to actually start with a lot more effort, 5 times more effort than if we're just a plain consultant. But that effort is going to start paying off because the next progression happens to be the number 100, then 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, and then a million. You can see how using the number 10 will get us to our financial goals much, much faster. So the common denominator in everything that we have been talking up to now has been that number 10. And just ingrain in your minds that that number 10 means becoming an executive. As a matter of fact, I call it the circle of 10. And just so that you can see where we're going here, if we use the forms that actually the rank advancement bonus forms uh, that you can find in your back office, if you go to uh, past the pages where they explain the U plus 2 and them plus 2, which are absolutely key. When you get to that page where it lets you actually plan your team, and let me make this a little smaller so we can fit here. This is the whole key to the people that are making the big, big money in Isagenix, to become a paid ass executive. Now, I'm going to quickly share with you how this whole concept of the circle of 10 works, how I've made it work together with Marlena in building our team and helping us achieve becoming a millionaire. And the explanation is very simple. You know, uh, becoming an executive is going to be the shortest and fastest path to help you achieve your financial goals while building your Isagenix business. And at the beginning, when we got into Isagenix, our team really started growing fast. The BDP team, starting with Jimmy and followed by George, Leanne Jackson, and myself, and so many others that are actually tonight on the call and in the BDP team. The including our friend Roberto and Tracy as well. I always get into trouble when I start naming names because cannot stop. Let's just cut it off here for a second. The growth was tremendous. We have thousands of new associates in just a few months, and this was a good thing. But communicating with so many people became a major undertaking. And many times people that were committed, people that requested help, people that had important messages, fell through the cracks. We could get in touch with them. And if we didn't get to them, we always got to them a little bit delayed. And this was a bad thing. And when we keep in mind that every one of our BDP team members' mission is to get paid and get their people paid, we were failing in that instance. So what we've done is we've developed a way to make that support that people need a way to actually make sure that we get to everybody. And for that, Marlena and I created our circle of 10. And really, the circle of 10 is what some people call just becoming an executive. But the way that we have arranged it is that we made sure that the structure that we chose was based on the top paying rank in Isagenix, which is the level of executive. And just quickly repeating, you have to have, and you can see that here on the graph that's on your screen, you have to have 5 consultants on each side, 5 on your left, 5 on your right. And if we get into the nitty gritty, we actually need to ideally have more than the 10 uh, to ensure that we are always at the paid as executive level. Why more than 10? Well, because there are sometimes issues with credit card expirations and so on, and it would really be uh, a pity if you missed getting one of those thousands of dollar bonuses just because one of the people in your downline's credit card had expired. So what we do is we always try to ensure that we have at least 12 to 15 personal enrolled consultants in our circle of 10. Now, each one of these people that are a member of one of our circles of 10 is actually considered a leader in our organization, and they are responsible for their own circle of 10, and they choose their circle of 10, which again consists of at least uh, 5 consultants on each side, and teaches each one of those consultants to do the same. And when you approach it that way, you can really have incredible growth. You remember that column of numbers where you went from 10 to 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000. The growth becomes absolutely incredible. And what this accomplished for us was that uh, even though we have almost 20,000 people on our team, uh, and it would be totally impossible for us to communicate with all of them, by using that circle of 10 structure, we talk to our top 10 people, who in turn, by just talking to their top 10, we have already been able to reach 100 people. We go one more level down, we're 1,000 people. We go one more level down, we're 10,000 people. So this becomes like those of you familiar with the concept of maybe a phone tree or whatever, this becomes the ideal structure for rapid growth, rapid communication, and making sure that everybody gets the support that they deserve. And of course, what you do need to realize is that at first, your own circle of 10 will consist only of a few people. You know, at the beginning, it will be just yourself. Then you'll have your first consultant, your second consultant, and so on. But as you grow, and some people might actually get to executive before you do. In my case, that was actually the case. Some people on my team actually grew faster than Marlena and I did. But that's actually a real good thing. The idea is to try to complete your circle of 10 to get to that level of executive as soon as possible. And the pay plan will take care of itself. You will start seeing the bonuses coming in, you'll start seeing the cycles coming in, and so on. So, this very simple concept has brought Marlena and I, quite a bit of success. And it is quite forgiving as well because we don't have to be constantly worried about performing at our peak or whatever. As a matter of fact, most of you that have seen me give a presentation, you know how hesitant I am of doing a presentation, how difficult it is for me, and so on. But I understand the numbers. I understand that the fact that I am taking action is really what counts. And that's what has helped us get some success. And I'm going to actually get to the end of this presentation quickly by giving you one tip that's actually going to uh, get get your business building into high gear. And what this is that thinking of the circle of 10 or of the executive as having 5 consultants on each side, that brings you to very, very, very good income levels. But think about it of where the true power of the U plus 2 and them plus 2 gets in. Think 1 second what the U plus 2, them plus 2 really means. U plus 2 is a consultant. U plus 2, them plus 2 happens to be a manager. And if you set your sights on building one manager, personally enrolled manager, into your team every single month, by the time 1 year is over, you can have not only a circle of 10, but a mega circle of 10. Lynn Hagedorn and the top earners in the bonus pools and all of these, which have had tremendous success. Lynn Hagedorn actually was able to achieve the $1 million earning in less time than anybody has ever done in Isagenix, and that's in 14 months. And this has been using this concept of basically getting one personally enrolled manager every month. In the case of Lynn Hagedorn, like George just mentioned, she was able to actually create 3 crystal executives in a very short period of time. And that made a huge, huge difference. So, this is basically a strategy that has worked for Marlena and myself. And, now it's your turn.